this is going to be great.
Welcome to the White House Pod with David A.R. White.
Roger, I'm very excited about our guests today. Do you know, as someone in the pageantry world for so many years, how would you set up our two guests this morning?
Well, you know, they are royalty.
They are, yes.
They are
indeed.
Miss Teen USA state title holders.
They're both Miss Teen USA's, correct?
State title holders, yes.
That's right.
Yes, and you know, Miss America's the girl that lives next door. But the Miss USA title holders are the girls that you wished lived next door.
Well, these young, I don't even know how I can, thanks, Roger. I don't know if that's appropriate right now for our podcast, but we're going to go, I guess we'll come in on that. Maddie Erickson is from Iowa. She holds right now, Miss Teen Iowa, correct?
Correct, yes. Miss Iowa Teen USA.
Miss Iowa Teen USA. And then we have Claire Ulmer from Mississippi, and she holds how do we pronounce our title? Mississippi. Mississippi Teen USA. I have the hardest time getting those correct. It's
What's the USA system?
Well, true. All right, guys, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. All right, so you guys look like are you both in college dorms right now?
Yes.
Yes.
On your laptops? Is this how we're tuning in? And Madeline's wearing her crown. Claire, did we lose our crown? What happened?
You know, I decided to keep it safe at the house, and I just didn't think that the college dorm was going to be the appropriate place to have it and make sure it was going to stay together for the next month.
It's probably wise. Now, Madeline, do you wear your crown and your sash at all times throughout the day at college?
Oh yeah, every class, 8 a.m. Always have it
on. Do you guys feel like, okay, so are you both freshmen? Or Madeline, what I know, Claire, you are a freshman, right, at the University of Mississippi, and Madeline, are you as well?
I am a sophomore at Louisiana State University.
A sophomore, okay. Okay,
yes.
Got it. Okay.
I'm young for my grades, so I'm still able to compete in the teen system, which is super fun.
That is. Now the teen system, I think Roger, what is this? It caps out at 19. Is that correct? Or 18?
I think they changed it. I think is it 19 now?
Yes, yeah.
That's what I thought.
So I'm a 2004 baby, so I was able to compete this year.
And you're 19 right now. And you wait, Claire, say that again.
We're both
2004 babies, I think is what I heard.
babies. My birthday is September 10th, so I'll be 19 very soon.
Got it. Okay. Wait. So who's older here?
I'm 19.
Okay. Claire, sorry, sometimes we're getting some frozen, it's freezing a little bit, but we will decipher through what you're saying.
She's back.
I think she said, Roger, your hair looks amazing
Well,
today.
thank you so much, David. And I noticed the sun got just a little brighter as you walked in the building today.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
These ladies are like, I'm sorry, I don't even understand what is happening over there. You both look like you have incredible white teeth. Now, the thing that I find amazing is in being involved in the judging of the pageants for the Miss USA is that they said that a lot of times you have dentists, right, that help somehow. Have you guys heard of this? Somehow, like when you win, you also could get like a free dental work. Is this correct?
Yes, that's one of the most amazing parts of winning Miss Mississippi Teen USA is I've always struggled with my teeth, and so I actually ended up getting a full dental sponsor, and he just helped prepare my smile for USA. So that's definitely been one of my favorite parts about winning the title.
Okay, wait. How long does this take? Because it's not like an overnight thing, like, right? I mean, like, I remember I had braces. My kid actually has braces right now. It seems like it takes 6 months to a year. So does the timing work, or are they able to put you on a fast-paced schedule?
Yes. So as soon as I won, about a week or two later, I went to Nashville and visited them. And then they just kind of were getting me in, and my smile's ready for the stage, which has been so much fun, because that's not something that you think of when you win a title, that you get a dental sponsor. But that is one of the most important parts. You're on stage and your whole job is to smile and talk to people and speak. And so it's been really cool having someone help me with that.
Amazing. And Madeline, did you always have straight teeth, or did you have to use braces?
So I had braces 6th grade through 8th grade. And then after I won the title, we also have a dental sponsorship with a dentist that's located in Minneapolis. So I met with them a couple weeks after I won. And when I go home in 2 weeks, I'll have my appointment just to get my teeth bright and ready for Miss Teen USA, which is coming up.
Now, does anybody not have bright teeth when they're competing for Miss USA or Miss Teen USA? Is this a thing? Is it that's interesting. I would not think that. I mean, you guys all have incredible smiles. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. For me, I think that when I look at someone, the first thing I see is their smile. And so I think it's super important to, reflect yourself through that.
Yeah, you're right. I like it. Yeah. It's making me smile right now. And
Absolutely.
I'm just incredibly focused in. You guys do have incredible teeth. All right, so moving on here. So how 2 teen Miss USAs right here in the building? Pretty amazing. What is the secret? What is the secret of your success? How long did it take you? How long did you compete before you won? Was it an overnight thing? Claire, let's start with you.
If I knew the secret, I probably would have put that in effect about 9 years ago. but I started working towards Miss Mississippi 9 years ago, almost 10 years ago, but I competed 3 times before I had won. And so for me, it was my final year competing when I won this year. And it's definitely not an overnight thing. I feel like every year that I competed, I thought I was ready, and then the next year I came back and I felt more prepared and ready, and more ready than I ever thought I could be. And so this year, I was honestly just praying that everything I had brought to the table was what it was supposed to be. And I just, at that point when I walked in, I was like, it is what it's going to be. I mean, this is my last year. I'm just going to go for it. But lots of hard work, lots of practice, and years of failures led up to this win. But it's honestly been all worth it.
Okay, Madeline, how about for you? Did it happen just overnight or longer?
Yeah, so mine's very different than Claire's. I actually competed in my first pageant ever last year. So it's very different. Yes. So I competed for Miss Iowa Teen USA back in 2022, and I got top 5, and that was my first pageant ever. So I'm a little bit new to the pageant industry, but after placing top 5 and going home, I told my mom, I was like, I want this so bad, just because I feel like competing in pageants, you learn so much about who you are. And that was really important to me as I was, a freshman going into college. And I just think it's really important to know who you are and who you want to be. So a pageant was a way that I could work on myself. And it was also becoming a really big dream of mine. So I worked so hard for that whole year leading up until this pageant this year. And I was able to win as my last year as a teen, and I'm eternally grateful for that. So I'm relatively new, but I was a dancer my entire life. So there's some similarities I feel with pageants and then dancing. So it's been such a ride, and I can't believe that I just started last year, because I feel like I've been in it forever, but I've enjoyed every second of it as far.
Madeline, did you have an inkling to be part of that early on, and you just had never gotten around to, entering? Or when did you find out about it and want to do it originally? Was it right away?
So no one in my family or any of my friends had ever competed in pageants. And I worked at a prom dress store, and my dress designer was telling me about modeling in Atlanta for Market. So I went there, and a lot of pageant girls go, and they were like, oh my gosh, you should do Miss Iowa Teen USA. I'm like, a pageant? What? I mean, I never thought of doing something like that. And then I was like, oh, I kind of like this. So I got a coach, worked really hard. And I think it was just like the inspiration of others and seeing all of the amazing and cool things that they've done with their titles that kind of drove me to compete in my first pageant.
Okay, so I have a question for you. But have you guys ever met each other before?
Nope.
No.
Now,
That's been the craziest parts about this year specifically, I feel like this year of the state title holders, a lot of times, like, you know, you've seen them compete before, you've kind of heard of them, but this year I feel like we have such a vast, like, variety of people, whether it's your first pageant or you've been doing it forever. So it's been really cool. And I think this year has been full of unexpecteds. And so it's been cool to kind of bond. We have a group chat and getting to bond in there. And so it feels like we've met each other. We've definitely talked over social media. But no, I think the first time I'll get to meet you is in Reno, which is going to be so fun.
And when is Reno? When is Miss Teen USA?
It is the week of September 25th. I think I fly in either the 21st or the 22nd. So it's coming up in just a couple short weeks.
Now, do you have to take off? When does that come? Like, what day of the week is that on? Is it a Saturday or?
So
Dylan, do you know that?
We will be there. We'll be there all week. So it's, you know, I'm definitely had to talk to my professors on the first day, and it was, you know, really funny. They were like, okay, you know, you have to send in usually proof of what you're doing. And I was like, I mean, I can give you an autograph card if that's proof. So all of my professors have all the days I'm going to miss on a
Claire's like, would you like an autograph and a picture to let you know that I am?
I mean, I didn't know what else to do to make them know that.
Now, did you bring your sash to college, Claire? Did you bring your sash, or did you leave your sash and your crown at home?
Okay, so I brought it, but I think people are having a little too much fun trying it on and stuff. So I was like, okay, let's keep her safe. You know, we got one more month to keep her all put together until nationals. So it is in Oxford. It's just not with me. And I would have gotten it if I realized I needed to wear it, but we'll just put one right here. We'll just pretend.
Okay, so now, how big is this group chat? Is it all 50 states that are in it?
Yes.
Wow. How in the,
Yes.
I can't even imagine, you guys are still teenagers,
Yep.
right? I think so. You're right on the cusp of leaving that. But how in the world 50 teenage women, girls, can I say girls, or are they, what's the correct pronunciation these days?
They're young women.
Young women. Okay,
women.
That is, wow, Roger. That's why he's the PR guy. He just knows exactly how to say it. Speaking of the guy with no filter, but that's why we have Roger.
I'm so sorry. I only meant that in the best of ways.
So guys, do you 50 people talking on this chat? How in the world do you decipher? Does each one have its brand? Like like Madeline, does yours automatically go Madeline, Miss Ohio, Iowa, or Claire, Miss USA, or Miss Mississippi? So once again, sorry, go ahead, Madeline.
I don't think anybody has their title next to their name, but I think by scrolling on social media enough and following them, you kind of know which name goes with which state. So over time, you kind of learn who's with what state.
How long has this been going on, this group chat?
I was added almost immediately after I won at the last week of June. So it's been a while.
And does it at least say, welcome, Madeline, from Miss Iowa, come on in to our group chat? Or does it hit, is there somebody like Roger introducing you to the group chat?
It's kind of just like you add the girls as they won their state title. So after I won, I was added into the group chat by another Teen USA state title holder.
Somebody that you knew or just added?
I think it was actually Miss Louisiana Teen USA that added me, just because we have mutual connections. So she knew that I had just won, so she added me into the group chat.
Claire, who added you to this group chat?
I think Miss Louisiana team did too. I think she made the one on Instagram, and then I made one on Snapchat. Because everyone, not everyone lets their Instagram DMs, and it's actually so funny having seeing we talk about everything in these group chats. You would think that it's not like that. Oh my gosh, it's like, what's your favorite song? What are you eating today? This stuff that we all just have full conversations all day. So it's actually been really cool to get to kind of meet each other, because normally by now you would have actually got to meet each other in person. There would be some sort of retreat or something. So it's been so fun getting to at least meet them in some way.
Now, you won't meet them until Reno, till the actual competition.
We check in.
Okay, so is it every day? Are people writing on this chat? Like, is it from 8 a.m. to? Does it ever stop, or do people stay up all night? Because you guys are in college now.
Pretty frequent. I don't think there's been a day where there hasn't been any communication.
Can I hear some of these chats? Can you give me? Don't tell me who said it, but like what does it say on this chat? We have to like this is fascinating, right, Roger?
Absolutely.
Who doesn't want to know what's on the Miss Teen USA chat? Furthermore, can we join this chat?
No, guys are not allowed. Guys are not allowed.
That would be a little weird, probably. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's about anything you can imagine teenagers talking about. I mean, it's funny, we're all girls, and I feel like we all go on tangents. So one second we'll be talking about like what's our favorite type of music, and then it's talking about like what we bought today. It's the funniest stuff, getting to like, we're all raised so differently. So watching like the conversations and everything, it's been so funny. I mean, but this group chat never stops. My phone, every time I get a notification, it's probably the Miss Teen USA group chat. Like, it never ends.
All right. So are either of you dating these days? Do you guys date in college? Is that still a thing, or what? Or do they call it hanging out, or do you just swear off all boys whatsoever? What is the what's the rules of engagement on for a Miss Teen USA?
Or
Do you want to go?
I do have a boyfriend. I think it's kind of rare in college these days just because, the times are different. It's not as common to date in college. People kind of just want to be free. But I think it's important to have someone that's a good support system and that will support you along the way, because being a state title holder and then having to compete at Miss Teen USA is a really big task. And it's awesome having a good support system behind you.
And how long, Madeline, Miss Teen Iowa, just for our listeners who don't have the visual here, this is why I thought I'd throw that in there. How long have you been involved in this relationship?
It's been since March.
Okay, so you met him at college, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not like a high school sweetheart.
No.
Claire, what's going on with you? You have older sisters, right? Did your sisters make you say, Claire can't date, or what happened here?
Okay, so I'm the youngest of 4, and so I have 2 sisters and a brother, and my brother was like, absolutely not. Like, this is not happening. Like, that's gross. Just no.
Is your brother older or younger?
He's older. I'm the youngest. I'm the baby.
Okay.
But I have a boyfriend of, it was our 1 year actually this week. So it's been awesome because, he is like the total football. He has a family full of boys, like knew nothing about pageants. And he was just kind of, I don't think he necessarily took it very serious until he got to see what it was actually like, even from me prepping for it and how much I'm gone and traveling. And I just remember the entire show of Miss Mississippi Teen USA. He had his flowers and he would not put them on the ground because he didn't want someone to step on them. And I remember my sister texting me, be like, because she's like, Claire, there's no way Claire can have a boyfriend. Like, I don't approve. And she texted me and she was like, okay, I like him. Like, but he was there. I mean, I think he was on the stage before my family was. It's just been awesome to have somebody who's going to support you and going to be there.
Was he a running back? Is he a running back in football? Did he run?
He's a linebacker.
Linebacker. Well, that makes sense of why he was on stage so fast. He was like coming to.
Claire, we're the same person. Like, my story is exactly the same. I have a football guy too.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
And it's so fun, like teaching them about it, because it's so funny. At first he didn't know, and then now he's like, oh, I made my top 15 list. Like, oh, this is who I'm. So I'm just like, the fact that you're into it so much kind of scares me a little bit.
Wait, the top 15 list of winners or of songs or what?
Oh, they have fun. They like to guess. He likes to say who he thinks has the best dress. Like, they got to entertain themselves somehow there. And so I think that they just, and it's funny to me because I'm like, why are you sending this to me? Like, I don't need to know this stuff.
It's just in the football group chat. That's all. That's what they're talking about.
Yeah, I'm probably the topic of the football group chat. Miss Mississippi Teen USA. Gosh, I hope not.
Well, that's super sweet. All right. So how What are you guys studying at college? Do we know what are our pursuits, or do we know yet what we want to achieve here, or still figuring it out? Madeline?
Yeah, so funny because
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. So from a young age, I have always wanted to be a sports reporter. I was going to Iowa State games with my dad since I was 2 years old, could walk. I've always loved sports, loved being in the atmosphere. It's so electric. So my senior year of high school, I was a sports intern at KCCI, which is Des Moines' leading news station. And then I knew I wanted to go to college somewhere that had a large sports market and that could set me up for success for the career that I wanted. So I chose LSU. So obviously, it's an SEC school, huge on sports. And I was able to get a job as a sports reporter for LSU. So the last year I've got to cover football games, basketball games, baseball, SEC national championship. So that's what I'm studying, broadcast journalism. And my biggest dream is to become an NFL sideline reporter someday.
Ah, very cool.
Beautiful.
Nice. All right, Claire.
We're so much more similar than I ever thought we could. I have kind of a similar story. So growing up, I've always loved sports. I've been a part of them, or my brother played football in college. And so growing up, like, I would rather go to football games with my big brother and my dad than I would rather like go shopping with my friends. Like, I was just always like loved the feeling of almost, it was just like it's electric feeling of being somewhere where everyone is so like they have a common goal and everyone loves being there, and it's such like a electric place. I growing up, I just loved going to games, and so I always knew I wanted to do something with sports. And when I stopped playing sports in high school, I kind of realized that I wanted to fill that role of being a strong female broadcaster, because the world of sports is so male dominated, and having a voice of a woman that is actually getting aired and having her place, and not just being on the sidelines, but actually having a space. So I want to be a ESPN on the broadcasting table at ESPN. So that's my dream. And I started college this week at the University of Mississippi. And so I'm a broadcast journalism major with a minor in sports media. So I actually have my tryouts for the News Watch and to be a sideline reporter this upcoming week. So fingers crossed that goes good. But I've just always kind of wanted to be in that field as well.
Wow. The irony of that. That's that. Now, have on the group chat, does anybody answer this question about what they want to be or what they're studying? Like how many Miss Teen USAs are actually in college, you think?
I think there's a handful of us. I don't
as many,
but there's not as many as in years past, I don't think.
Right. Like 10 out of 50. Is there 50 or 51?
51.
51. Okay. Last time I checked, I didn't know whether we added states or or had like the unknown. Like sometimes in the pageants, right? There's like the top 10 or top 5, and then they give you an audience favorite. I don't even know. Girls, do you know what they call that? What do they call that? Like an extra the audience people's choice. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. Which is like the 6th person, right? It's the 6th or is the 11th?
It just depends on the pageant, but I think for Iowa it was the 11th.
Okay.
It was that for us as well.
All right. Yeah. Wow. I see. I just did Judge Minnesota. I don't know, 4 weeks ago, something like that.
I was actually there in Minnesota watching.
Oh, you were? Oh, good. But they had the audience, the People's Choice 11th, I guess. Did they have that? Do you remember it? I think they did. And yes. I always thought, I was like, oh, I guess we're doing something different in this one. But I guess maybe we do it at everyone. That's funny. All right. So as the elders of the Miss Teen USA, because you guys are more mature than the 16-year-old winners or 17-year-old winners, what can you tell these younger women on the pod or on your group chats? What's the word of wisdom that you have for them? Being 2 years older,
honestly. Well, there's from anywhere from I think 14 to 15-year-olds to to 19.
But what do you think the youngest title holder is what, 16 maybe?
I think Minnesota was 15 when she won.
Yeah, you can be 15. I think.
Was she?
So honestly,
Michaela, I think her name is Michaela.
Really have.
Yeah, she's sweet.
Yes.
Well, we crowned two very young ones then. Two very young, because the Miss
Mississippi
was 19 or 20, I think. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Claire.
Honestly, I don't know if I have any advice to them. I feel like they're in the same boat we are. I mean, I think everything happens in different timing. For me, like the Miss Mississippi Teen USA that won before me, Mackenzie, was a lot younger than I was when I won this year. So I think it just all happens in different timing. And honestly, they won the same thing I won. So I just would we're just going to support each other through it. I don't think I can give them any advice.
Yeah.
Well, Claire, that's not helpful for our listeners, just for the record. We're going to make up some advice from Claire here in a minute. But go ahead, Madeline, let's hear your advice first.
I mean, I think anybody that wins a state title holder is obviously, they are very mature and they have worked a lot to get to that point. Mm-hmm. So they most definitely know a lot about themselves and who they are, like I spoke about earlier. I think it all just comes down to you've had different experiences. I mean, for Claire and I, we've, been at college for 1 or 2 years now. So we have that under our belt. So I've even talked, because I'm friends with the former Miss Mississippi Teen USA, and she's looking at, where she wants to attend college and stuff like that. So I've been able to give her advice on my experience. So I think it's more of as they get older and they're starting to, decide where they want to go or what they want to major in, we can kind of give advice on that. But other than that, I mean, we all won the same title and we're all competing for the same one in a couple weeks. So everyone's kind of really in the same boat, like Claire said.
Okay, so like in movies, if you guys' life was a movie, somebody would be stabbing somebody in the bathroom, somebody would be like, putting some kind of a terrible thing in their makeup, so they would break out. There would be all kinds of, things that would cause drama, or if this was a reality show. So does any of this actually happen in the middle of like a pageant? Or is everybody as friendly and loving and kind and sweet and courteous as you guys?
From my experience, I mean, just the past 2 years that I've been competing, it's been nothing but kind and, empathetic women that I've competed with. I've never had a bad experience, and I'm fortunate enough to say that, but everyone is so uplifting and everyone just truly wants the best for everybody else. So I've had a really great experience with that.
I mean, in part, that's also because you're from Iowa. I mean, is there even a bad person in Iowa? Let's be honest. Roger, have you ever, you visit jails a lot. Have you ever visited anybody from Iowa?
Wow, David. I don't visit jails a lot. No, I would tell you.
All right, I'll tell you this because I go to jails a lot, and I'm just saying that I've never met anybody from Iowa in jail. So
there you go.
So
anybody I've ever met from Iowa has been actually fantastic.
That's what I'm saying. Very exactly. Nice. All right, Claire, you're from Mississippi, a little bit different, but. I'm kidding. How has your pageants been? Because did you say you did like 8 years, 9 years? You said something in the pageant world?
Yes, I've been in it for a long time. And I honestly, when I got in it, I knew nobody that did them. I did not know anything about them. I saw a TV show about it and was like, Mom, I want to do this, and brought her computer to her. And I was like,
which TV show is this? Which was what? What was it? Do you remember?
Toddlers and Tiaras. I don't know what it was. I was like, I was really scared about all the drama. I was like, Mom, I don't know if I want all this. I just want to be able to like wear the cool dress and like get to walk on stage and get all that like fun stuff. I don't want all the drama. And
were your older sisters doing this too at the time? Had any of your older sisters been in the pageants? Either. Okay.
No, I started, and my sister that was actually first runner-up at Miss Mississippi USA this year did not do them. We both grew up hunting and fishing, like did not want anything to do with all of that. I mean, my dad is like a 6'8" ultimate, like just dad loves to hunt and fish, and so we were not around that. And my sister came to watch me compete, and someone was like, you really need to do a pageant. And the second they said that, my mom was like, you're doing one, you're doing it. And then we just kind of fell in love with doing it with each other. We were not close growing up, but doing it together, there's something about pageants that bring people together. I mean, getting to like, it's hard, and there's moments where we get to bond over things that are difficult. I mean, I think, it was really hard. We went through such different experiences. In 3 minutes, I went from one of the most amazing moments of my life, and then she went through one of the hardest ones of hers. And so it was hard, trying to be there for each other. But I joke with her all the time. I'm like, I'm so happy you didn't win, because now you just get to take me everywhere. I mean, for the past 4 months, I think we've traveled 25,000 miles together, just like doing all of my stuff, preparing for USA. So it's just been awesome. And like she said, I have had an amazing experience with the girls. I was so scared. You hear all this drama and you hear all these misconceptions of what pageant was like. So I was terrified. I was like, okay, like I'm staying in my lane. I'm not messing with these girls, but everyone is just so sweet. And I truly have met some of my best friends through pageants. So I've had the most amazing experience, and I wouldn't take one bit of it back.
Now, okay, so both of you are saying that everybody's been unbelievable. I mean, this is going to make a terrible reality show, for the record.
I know. I'm sorry we can't give you anything.
But that's sweet. I wonder, though, is it from, obviously it comes down from, I would imagine, from the leadership then as well. In all the pageants that I've been part of and had the pleasure of judging, I've been amazed at the people who are running those pageants and how kind and giving they are and supportive they are and excited for you guys and every single contestant to, it's not at all what I had envisioned that it would be. I thought there would be a little bit more, and I wonder, like, is America or people who kind of, have watched reality television too much, if they would automatically think it's more drama. And then you throw, women or young women into the mix. Women aren't notorious for being super sweet and kind and, hey, supportive and like there's no drama ever. I mean, I've been to a house where there's been multiple women and inherently somebody's talking about somebody. So this is amazing to me. Okay, so with that being said, on the group chat, is everybody's same things, just super supportive and sweet?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of, if we have questions about an email that just got sent out and we don't know what format to write this paragraph that we have to write, it's, I know what to do. So it's a lot of just helping each other out, and there's never any drama in that group chat whatsoever. It's really just amazing. Random things like we were talking about. And
and what's amazing too is no jealousy. Like there's no, oh, wow, I'm worried about, so-and-so who hasn't, whatever. That's amazing. Everybody just feels confident and
I think at this point, when you get so far at this point, like we all won the same title. We all had to do the same thing to win. So I mean, we're all on the same boat. So when you get to this point, I think that you kind of can't be jealous, because you never know what's going to happen at Miss USA. It's always so unexpected, but you just have to go at it and know that like you've already won. And at this point, it's 5 random people or 3 random people that are judging you who have no idea who you are. So you've just kind of got to go with it. But I've been shocked. Honestly, I was like, 51 random people never met, raised in totally different like situations and cultures. How in the world is this going to work? And I honestly was shocked. I was like, is this real? Is this genuine? But they're so genuine. It's such a real like relationship.
Amazing. All right. So let me just take it back for a second. In high school, both of you, or college, has it always been everybody's just happy as ever in all the girls that you have grown up with? Has there ever been a mean girl, or did they just make that up? Mean girls.
So I went to a really big high school. I lived in a suburb of Des Moines called Ankeny, and we had I think it was almost 600 in my graduating class. So if that's big, that was big to me. But and I had a really large friend group. I mean, we had over 30 girls in our friend group. And then obviously I had 5 or 6 that were my real best friends. And obviously there's going to be bumps in the roads and misunderstanding. Everyone is growing up, finding who they are. But we are all still best friends to this day. I mean, the girl that I've been friends with since I was 8 months old at daycare, we're still best friends, even though, we go to different colleges. It's just, I've always had really solid relationships. And I think that stems from me just wanting the best for other people, and they want the best for me. And we all lift each other up in no matter what we do in life. And I got to carry that to college with me. And I've met some pretty amazing people here too.
Claire, same?
I had a very different experience. Growing up, I went to school with, I think I had 8 to 12 girls in my grade. I mean, and we've known each other since we were in pre-K. And so you throw 8 girls together, and it's just, I felt like I always had good friends, but I never had like a stable group of girls that were going to support me. And, jealousy is like so real. And I think a lot of times when you go in different avenues in your life, and, that can definitely stem. And so I ended up moving, just for sports and other things and just more opportunities, to a school with over 400 people in my grade. So I went from 8 girls to almost 200 girls in my grade. And, I had that group of friends. I have those really close friends. But for me growing up, I felt like I never had that community that was going to support me. And, because a lot of times, like with all that we have to do, it's really hard to have people that are going to, support you. And, I'm not home a lot. So having people that are going to be there. And so growing up, that's why I'm so close with my siblings, because my sisters were like my best friends. So, but now going to college, I've met some of my closest friends up here, and they are like my biggest fans. I mean, they have already planned their watch party for the pageant, like everything. They've just truly been some of my best friends. So I would say finding people that are not jealous, but just overall want you, to be the best version of yourself and want to support you. So it's been really cool finding that.
That is cool. I mean, what would be the advice that you would give? So I have a 13-year-old daughter. I actually have 2 daughters. I have a 10. My daughters are 10 and 13 right now. So my 13-year-old obviously is 8th grade, going into that whole teenage years and trying to figure things out. And what are the advice that you would give the 13, 14, 15-year-olds who are growing up as we speak?
Yeah, I think, growing up, I was more shy. And then once I got into like middle school, I started coming out of my shell and just growing into my skin. And I think I became a people pleaser. I would give so much to other people, and I would forget to kind of, give to myself at times. And if you're not putting anything into yourself, you're not going to be able to put your best self out there to everybody else. So I think it all comes down to surrounding yourself with positive people who are going to lift you up when you need it, and you can lift them up when they need it. And if they're negative or toxic or anything like that, just remove them out of your life. You know what I mean? It's not worth it wasting any time on someone that doesn't want the best for you, or is going to be jealous of you, or you're just not happy with anything that you're doing.
Claire? Thank you, man.
Mine would honestly just be staying true to who you are. I think especially through that period in your life, it can be super easy to, want to change yourself to fit in a certain friend group, or want to, be someone that you're not just because you feel like you have to be. And so growing up, like that was always a struggle for me. I always had a hard time finding my place. So my biggest piece of advice is stay true to yourself. And also, like, there's so much out there more than high school. I think growing up in this bubble of school, when you get out, you realize just like how much more there is. So I'd say stay true to yourself and realize that like the people that love you are going to be there and they're going to support you, and the people that are not, they're going to fall out of your life for a reason. And that's been honestly the most amazing part of me is I've, watched people leave and watched people come in my life, but I wouldn't say that I would change any of it, because I have a group of people now that are my biggest fans. I mean, before this, they were like, okay, do you need help getting ready? Like, because I had class right before this, so I came here. But just like a group of people that are going to love you, and just kind of stay true to yourself and don't change that to get those people.
Yeah, I agree with that too, Claire, because I think I moved over 1,000 miles away from home for college, and that was super hard. I didn't know a single person when I got here, and I've made some really good friends, and it was kind of fun because I feel like college is a chance for, you get to choose who you want to spend your time with. You get to choose who you surround yourself with. And with that, you know, you create new friendships, and the ones from back home or, you know, wherever you're from, you'll get to see who the real friends are and the real ones that are going to be there for you through anything and everything. And there are going to be some people that choose to leave your life, or you choose to leave, you know, that friendship. But like you said, it's important to choose yourself, because, you know, you're all you have at the end of the day too.
Yeah, I think I would say the thing that you guys really have that stuck out to me the most, and really not knowing when I entered, you know, into the judging circuit for the Miss USA, is I didn't know much about the whole pageantry. And I've been amazed at how amazing you guys are as young women, and how just how much wisdom that you already have, and in the whole competition that, you know, all joking aside, is that you guys have supported, and the amount of friendships that come out of the pageants are amazing to me as well. So my hat is off to that, and I would encourage all people to. No, not all people. If you're of the female gender, to go into the pageant, that it is actually it's I think it's good for good for you, and it's it's cool. So, all right. So both of you guys, first of all, what is your favorite songs these days? What's trending in your you know, in your listening when you work out at the gym or wherever, whatever you're doing, walking or studying?
I have very drastic music taste. It's like I would admit it, I'm like the biggest Taylor Swift. Like, I will listen to all of like my nostalgic music. I don't know, it's like my favorite music to listen to and jam out in the car. But I'm also from Mississippi, so I love a good country song. I mean, it just depends kind of what you're doing and what the vibe is. I kind of listen to everything. I'm somebody that I'm like, I do not want to take the aux in the car. Like, I want someone else to take it. But I love all kinds of music, but Taylor Swift lately has definitely been my music to get ready for USA. It's just fun, and it makes me get excited.
Madeline? All right, so they're wrapping us up here, guys. But I got to hear Madeline's. Okay, I got 2 minutes. All right, so Madeline, what's your songs of choice these days? Are you a Taylor Swift fan as well?
I don't listen to her music that often, and I don't know if I would say that I would spend thousands of dollars to go to to like her concerts that are super popular.
Like my daughters did, but they went to the Taylor Swift concert.
I mean, it sounds fun. I'm just not the Swiftie that's big enough to pay all that money for that.
So what are you listening to?
I'm a country girl. I love country music, but I also do love R&B. I like slow music, just stuff that has good meaning behind it.
All right, guys. All right. So, quick question. Last question. Do you guys work out? And what is the workout for an 18 and 19-year-old these days? Like, because you don't look like you need to work out at all. Like, does Miss Teen USA do that often?
Yeah, so it's definitely hard balancing everything being a college student. Claire, I'm sure you can relate. I try and get into the gym at least 5 times a week.
Is it weights or Pilates or what?
It's just kind of a mixture. What you like, it's tailored towards your body. So for Iowa, we get a sponsored personal trainer that creates workouts for us. So I just go to the gym, open the app, and there's my workout for the day. So it's super nice and easy. And the gym is actually literally 5 steps away from my sorority house that I live in. So I don't have to go too far.
Claire, are you doing that? I got to wrap up here really quick. 10 seconds. Go ahead.
We have a sponsor as well. I'm Angelo.
Wow. All right. Well, you guys have been. Thank you so much for coming on, and what a breath of fresh air both of you are. Incredible smiles. Madeline, it's a pleasure to meet you. I haven't met you before, and Claire, I hope you're rocking Miss Teen Mississippi these days. It sounds like you guys have both been traveling and doing your duties. So thank you for supporting your state. We appreciate you guys. Thanks again for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. All the best. Well, guys, that's another episode here. What a wonderful group of young ladies, Roger. My goodness.
restored my faith in our country.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, if that's the youth of today, we're okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, watch our episodes on. You can get them on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and if you want to see Claire Ulmer and Maddie Erickson with their crowns right here on YouTube, please check in. All right, guys. God bless you. Thanks so much for being joining us today. Have a great day.